Good morning and welcome to another session of Facebook Live with the Malaysian Insight. Today we have a special treat for you as well as for me, as we have Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah with us this morning. Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah is one of the first Malay women to enroll in a medical course at King Edward College 7 in Singapore after World War II. She was also one of the first Malay women doctors in Malaya after graduating in 1955 and stayed on until retirement in 1979. Most of us remember Tun Siti as the Prime Minister's wife and the patron of badminton. The image of Tun Siti lifting the Thomas Cup in 1992 with the Sidek brothers are still fresh in the mind for most of us who watched that. So I would just like to start off by asking, who is Dr. Hasmah?
Still Hasmah, and that's why the book is named My Name is Hasmah. I should have added
students as well as women doctors in the service. Yeah. So what is your male doctors, in the service?
Well, 1955. That's the time when I've graduated and came back home to do my housemanship in Kuala Lumpur General Hospital. I was very, very grateful that I managed to fulfill not only my own ambition to be a doctor, but my parents' wish that I should be one. And that I came back, although I spent 2 more years in the college. The course is 6 years actually, Chan. But I failed in my first year, and I also have to repeat my final year.
Thank you for staying with us. We had some technical problems just now. It's been sorted out by the team, and we are back with Tun Dr. Siti Hasmah. She was just telling us about how she started in JHKL and as a houseman those years. And then shortly, I think, is it 1956, you moved to Kedah?
After we got married, 56, yes.
So how was it like moving, being a city person, and moving to Kedah? Those days, Kedah must have been very different.
Very rural, Chan. Yes. But that's the challenge. It's not my colleagues that will be challenging me, but it's the challenge of the environment and the people whom I serve. That's the challenge. And I was very, very grateful when I found that I was born a girl, a Muslim at that, and became a doctor. That was the correct time that God blessed me with to work with the rural people in Kedah, because the situation is much worse than in Kuala Lumpur. And for me, as a town-bred girl, going to a rural is a big challenge. But I faced it, and I was very happy for the number of years I worked there.
What were some of the challenges you had to face in Alostar?
First of all, I can consider myself an expatriate in Kedah, because I don't understand their lingo, kan cakap Kedah lain, and but I soon began to learn. First I had an interpreter, because I don't know what they mean by sungai kecil, sungai besar, and the difficulty that this woman had going to sungai kecil, sungai besar, until the staff nurse told me, he said, "Doctor, sungai kecil means that she cannot pass urine, and sungai besar means the other one, and surely she cannot bring her husband to help her." So okay. Now I understood, and after that I started to learn, and I humbled myself. That's the word. Humble myself. I learned to know how to approach them in that environment. And very soon I got over it, and the rapport between me and my patients was very good. I first worked in a hospital, which is different from the hospital that I worked in Kuala Lumpur. And the difference is that in Kuala Lumpur, most of the patients and the mothers who bring their child for treatment are Chinese. They were Chinese. They were the ones who are very alert about health, because they were staying in the city, in the town. But in Kedah, in Alostar, it's mostly the Malays, but they come usually too late. And that's where I get sometimes very upset because they come in too late for treatment in a hospital. And then when they come in too late, so what happens? They die. Even though we do the first aid or whatever, emergency treatment, they eventually passed away. And then it gives cause to the people to say that, masuk hospital pun mati juga. Not realizing that they were the ones who do. Now this is, I don't blame them. This is the hospital environment that I was there. But when I was transferred to rural health and became a medical officer of health, then I understood why they came in too late. One is that the patient must have the approval of the husband, the mothers, and all the orang-orang tua in the house for her to go to hospital. That's one. Secondly, transportation. Okay? They don't have the money. At that time, our roads so bad. This is before the development program. The transportation to go to the clinic or to the hospital is you have to get a private taxi or a car, and to come out from the house to the road is another problem. The roads are very small, bendang roads. You can't bring a car in, so they have to carry the woman in the sarong and the long poles, right up to the road, and then to wait for a car that can take them to the hospital. So these are the problems in the rural areas, which I understood when I was with them. And then came the Tun Razak rural program, which actually helped the rural people tremendously. And I was very lucky to be still in government at the time, and under Tun Razak's, he was a prime minister, and he made this rural program, and we really abide to all his instructions in his red book. We meet as a medical officer of health in Kubang Pasu. We meet at that district officer, district office, every month with all the other heads of departments, and we plan out how to expand the rural program. Where I'm concerned is about health, rumah bidan, health clinics, and then to recruit new nurses and train new nurses and so forth. That was my responsibility. That's a challenge which I took, and I was very, very happy. I managed to get the cooperation of the people, the district officer. I'm the only woman there, but they respect me and I respect them. So for me, I was very grateful to the Almighty, because although I'm a woman, but they respect me because of my profession, and I guess because I know how to respond to them and approach them as rural folks, and ignorant in some ways, but I was there to help them carry on.
You just talking about the what do you call it? Are you satisfied with the level of rural healthcare that we have today?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes, we have the best. We were considered the best, the country with the best health program, and we're very proud of it. And especially so, we have many success stories there. Success stories in the form that we brought down the mother's maternal mortality rate down, and the best was the infant mortality rate down. During independence, at the time of independence, it was 75 per 1,000 children below 1 year who will pass away with diphtheria, which like I mentioned just now. But by the time the health program went, and by the time I left Alustar, it was 6 per 1,000, 7 per 1,000. Until I had to go to Washington to tell them of our success story. Of course, we got the budget from the World Bank, so they want to know how come. So I went. Dr. Rashkarim was with me. We went and to tell them the success story of Malaysia. We were the 4th country, in the developing situation, to have got to show real success in bringing down the infant mortality. The first was Japan, second is Great Britain, third is US, fourth is Malaysia. We were very proud.
What was the key to that success?
What was the key?
Yeah, to bring
Our
it down.
immunization program.
Immunization.
Our immunization program, the five vaccines that we have ready for the children. And also we have what we call the Initiative Mothers Initiative Program. Anyone who is who's pregnant, a mother who's pregnant and has complications, they will be our first priority to attend. They have the free way to go to the hospital to see the doctor and to discuss whatever treatment you're going to do to them and to help them cross the complications. That is our best program, Initiative Mothers Program, maternal program, and the immunization program. And thirdly, Chan, you'll never believe this, our registration of the Tok Bidan, the traditional midwives. Oh, there are about 1,000 of them in Kedah. They are old, and but they are very active. They are a leader in the kampung. She's the one who we have to be friendly with first thing when you go into rural health.
Was it difficult to deal with the Tok Bidans and the...
No, for me it's not difficult. Okay. But it depends on how you approach these old ladies, you know. Dia panggilkan Tok lah, kan. Tok apa sihat, semua. And once they like you, they will listen to you. We give them UNICEF, beautiful UNICEF aluminium kits, midwifery kit. Kalau tidak, they will use, you know, the chocolate punya tin tu, kan, as their midwifery kit. And that they have one rusty scissors, and then some thread. And then you can find sometimes when we examine them every month, there will be cockroach punya legs, kan, or dia punya sirih. So unhygienic. So we say, okay, we give you an aluminium midwifery kit from UNICEF, complete with the scissors, forceps, the thread to tie the umbilical cord, and the medicine to give and so forth. Very clean, and the towels kit for. And they have to bring this midwifery kit for inspection every month. They come, and you see them as brand as new, clean, brand as new, but they don't use it. So that's the challenges that I made. You know which is why? Kata besar sangat. Dia bukan naik motorkar, bukannya naik motosikal, besar sangat, payah. Dia kat Bendang, she's working in the Bendang, kan? And then when comes a call, said that Cik Mina or someone is going to deliver, she just washes her hand in the Bendang water, goes out, and then passes a bamboo stick to cut the bamboo to prepare for the cutting of the cord. Dengan bambu ni, tangan dia tak bersih. So we have a lot of problem with them originally until we give them this aluminium box and speak to them. We have a special course for them, and eventually, finally, we register them. Register them as health promoters. You also know. They also retired, you know, but being a sort of first aiders in the rural areas, we allow them to do so, but change them to become health promoters. And you say to be done, her duty after the course is, her duty is to help the patient in comforting her, recite religious verses during delivery, and that's from the umbilical upwards. From the umbilical downwards, it will be our registered, trained government midwife. And we want them to cooperate. To be done, we'll call the registered midwife in the company from the Rumah Bidan, and to help someone to deliver, and she will also be there to comfort the mother. That's her duty now, and they are very pleased. She's a family planning promoter and brings children for immunization. So we have a very good rapport there. I don't know what is now. I don't think there are many more
Bidans left.
bidan traditional midwives, but probably a few, in those places which are very far out. But they must be trained. They must be recognized. Don't put them aside. Recognize them, so that they feel that they're still useful in the village. They are leaders in the village. The leaders that I have to talk to is Tok Bidan, Tok Kampung, Ketua Kampung, and Tok Momo. The Momo is the one who's very nasty sometimes. And the religious Tok Pegawai Agama, Tok Imam, yes.
Today we see that there are some professional women who are opting to give birth at home, and then parents who don't want to vaccinate their children. What do you think of this? As a person from medical.
I feel very sad, Chan. Actually, frankly, I feel very sad because it bounced back on me. I said, it looks as if my 17 years, 23 years, teaching rural people, to rural mothers, to please come, go to the hospital for delivery, especially their first delivery, probably has gone to waste. And the immunization program also. The benefit that the children got from the immunization was gone to waste because of this anti-immunization campaign, and also the mothers not going to hospital for deliveries. If they are professional ladies, it's okay because they are educated, yeah. But I still would caution them not to have their first delivery or the fourth delivery at home unattended. They said that they won't want any attendance at the beginning. That worried me. If you are in complication, macam mana? Then you have to call someone. Supposing you are bleeding, you have to call someone. And then comes this, I call it water babies. Yeah, delivering in water. You must have someone attending to you. It may be your husband, it may be a nurse or something to help you. And quite a number are successful, okay, but those who are not will have either delivered a dead baby or the mother will be in complications. For so long as the baby born in the water is still in the water, then the baby will be okay. Because from a bag of water in the mother's womb into a pool of water or whatever, a bathtub, she'll be all right. Because the lungs are still not dilated, not expanded yet. But once the baby, the baby is like, sometimes it goes up, and start to breathe, and that means the lungs is already open up, and like us, and once it goes back into the water, she'll be drowned.
What about the vaccination?
The vaccination, they gave me 4 reasons. It seems that it's dangerous. It's not dangerous. It's been investigated and been researched for many, many years, and it's not dangerous. Of course, you have, when it's done, when it's given to a child, the child will have fever. We adults also will have that. That's a reaction, but it's only minor, yeah. And then they said it's haram. Some ingredients which is haram for Islam. It's not. If it ever thought it's from sheep, kan? Takkan nak sembelih itu semua nak halalkan dulu sebelum buat vaksin ni. No. Why don't we think of the positive instead of the negative? It's to help. It's to help children live. Kan? So that's one. Another one says that if you leave it to natural processes, the child will still be immune. Have you to wait until the child is paralyzed with polio before you say, oh, now we have to have vaccine? It's too late. Too late. Polio, the vaccines are so simple. Now, before it is supper, the polio drops. Okay? And the last polio case that we had in Alustar was in an iron lung. The child, the boy, it's not a child, it's a boy, age about 15 years old, he had polio, paralyzed, and the paralysis going up into his lungs. He had to be in this wooden box, like a coffin, with holes in it for his head to come out, and windows for the nurses to put their hands in to nurse him. Would you like to see your son like that? I saw the last box in Yellowstone. And from then on, with immunization program, we eliminated polio. We eliminated tuberculosis with our mantu test, BCG for babies, and then mantu test for adults, mini X-rays, and monitoring, X-rays also especially. We eradicated tuberculosis. We eradicated polio. Kan malaria lagi. We eradicated. We have a malaria eradication program. I was in it. I saw all these things. And now I feel so sad. Why are we going backwards? Kan? It's not Islamic at all to go backwards when you are given this child to make your mothers and your child alive, kan? To give all the opportunities for you to get all this treatment, for you to live longer, and that you are just putting it aside. No, I hope and pray that all these anti-campaigners will come back and say, yes, we are taking back the immunization.
In your day as a woman doctor as well, you broke some glass ceilings, you know. I think I can remember my mother's time and my grandfathers would say, like, you know, women are not good for science, you know, but medical doctor, you've broken that sort of glass ceiling. Do you think there's still glass ceilings in Malaysia to break?
No,
like
yeah.
we have seen women prime ministers in some of the neighbors, like
Yes.
Indonesia and Thailand and even Philippines. But you know, do you think there will be a day when you will see a woman prime minister in Malaysia?
Probably there will be a day. I hope and pray there will be a day. But women must be very, very qualified. That's the question we have to, and we should admit and realize that we have to be very, very knowledgeable.
More qualified than the men?
Yes, if possible. Yeah. We are ahead of men in some ways because we have now 75%, remember?
Yep.
75% students in universities are women and the men are lacking behind. They are the hare, we are the rabbit. No. Kan? So, but we must be very, very qualified. Yeah? And to read, we must read everything that we can get hold of, not only of what is, how to be a leader and so forth, but we learn from other leaders, kan? The autobiographies, history books, and what shall I say, the things that they do for their own country, how they succeed, that is important. And not only that, we have to learn how to, first thing, how to have good rapport with all levels of our people. That's my experience actually. With certain people, we have to go down. We have to be humble and go down to the level to talk to them. But from the middle side, when they are more educated, then it's a different level. You can talk to them reasonably and you can reason out with them. But with the professionals, it's a different matter. Before they want to come and see you as a doctor, they go into the internet first. Okay? And then when they've seen what they want to know in the internet, then only they go to the doctor to complain what's wrong with her. And she will be judging the doctor, whether he is talking correctly or not about that particular condition. So it's difficult for a woman to become a leader if she is not knowledgeable. She must face these challenges with counterparts, with people of different grades, as I mentioned to you, and she must be very, very knowledgeable. If she has all that qualification, reasonable, and one thing, she has to be calm. Jangan mengelenting, as in the Malaysia says. Don't get hot every time she's been criticized or whatever. She has to be calm and and keep your image as a leader and pretend that everything is okay. Not to pretend, but really to see that it's okay. So that's my vision of a woman Prime Minister in Malaysia. Okay? We have examples in many countries of what they have been doing and what happened to them. So we learn from others to develop ourselves.
Just one more question on medical. I understand that. You said you started off in pediatrics, and then actually you went to health, women's health in particular, actually. So I just want to ask, what do you see a lot of? Let's say, this is a problem that we still seem to have today, like child marriages. So what are your views on that? Do you see a lot of those cases back in your day? Is it the same?
Child marriages at that time are there, but I don't think it's a lot. It's nowadays that along the way, can we hear about child marriages? As soon as they have their menarche or the first period, so they're considered a girl who can get married, and she's fertile. It's sad. Mostly with child marriages, not child marriages, it's child mothers, children, young mothers. Children become mothers in a case of these social problems.
As a medical professional, what do you think of it?
It's not healthy because the child's body is not mature enough to be to accommodate the pregnancy, for example, and she herself is not mature enough how to deal with the baby, her pregnancy, her baby, how to look after the baby. She will not be a good parent, and not a mature parent, and because then she has to look after the child. No, it's difficult. I won't go along with child marriages. Yeah, for whatever reason also.
So, we can't get away from that you were the Prime Minister's wife for 22 years. I'm sorry. So, what would you say is what is the role of the Prime Minister's wife? I've read your autobiography, and you have gone to Iraq and to meet Saddam, and then Saddam Hussein, and then you were also in North Korea as well. And so, what do you think a Prime Minister's wife's role is?
Well, first and foremost, that you have to support your husband as a Prime Minister's wife. She's there to protect his image, his character, and and of course to provide his needs. Yeah, that's what a wife's for. As a wife, okay. As a wife, you have to support him and to be with him for whatever he needs you for. Yeah, and at the same time, you yourself must take care of your own image, your own reputation, so that it will not damage him. Whatever you do yourself will reflect your husband. Yeah? So this is something your wife has to be very careful about. Yeah? And the most important thing is to be with him. Yeah? And to ensure people that he has a wife, and the wife is supporting him and taking care of him. That's important. And it gives the husband, the Prime Minister, a sense of confidence also. Okay? That whenever he's blue or down, he has a wife to comfort him. That's one of the roles of a wife. Yeah? To love him during good days and bad times, and to love him always. So, one thing I made myself clear that there should not be any competition between you and your husband. Of course, as a Prime Minister's wife, people will also expect you to play a role as a leader, you know, in a women's field or something, and will invite you and ask you to talk and be with them and so forth. Yes, you have to do that because that will enhance your husband's image also. But be careful not to overstep your authority or your role. I mean her role as a Prime Minister's wife. Don't take the role of a Prime Minister. No competition. Okay? Leave it to your husband.
You said supporting one of the main roles is supporting the husband. So is this why you are still attending ceramas with Dr. Mahathir at this time?
I attended it for many reasons. One is I want to listen to him because when we campaign, will be separated, and I will do my part and he will do his part. And I want to know what he's talking so that we talk the same thing. Okay? To correct if he says something else, I say something else. Susah lah, yeah. That is one thing. And secondly, I want to keep him calm, you know. And sometimes I have to be with him because sometimes he has got cough, and to make sure that something is there on the table for him to take, a glass of water, for example, and to ensure that he is okay. So I'm there with him all the time just to listen. Sometimes people say, you're always with me, yes, and you always listen to him. I say, not all the time I listen to him because I get bored, you know. Okay? Listening to the same ceramah, same story, kan? But to him he says, you may be bored, but my audience is different, which is true. Kan, different audience, kan? Who has not heard him before, so it will be something new for them. But me listening to him every day, every night, and at home properly, kan? Sometimes I get bored, but I cannot say that. Kan, otherwise he will be discouraged lah, kan, and he'll get angry. So I go along with him and give him a little bit of comments lah after that.
Does he insist that you come along? Because some of his ceramas now will be really late, even later than when he was Prime Minister. He's always slaughtered as the last speaker of the night.
Yes, that is something which I tried to convince the organizers to please don't make him the last speaker. But they have a reason lah. They always give me this reason. They make him last because otherwise the crowd won't be there. So making use of my husband lah. Okay? But 10:45 will be his speech, and then 1 hour. So that means 11:45. And if it is in around Kuala Lumpur, kan, we come back early lah before 12. But if it is in Pulai, in katalah dekat Shah Alam, away from home, Penang, by the time we get home, it will be about 1 o'clock in the morning. And he must have his sleep. I insist that he go to sleep and not wake up early the next morning. That's just one problem that we have. And it is the night programs. But he has to be like that because the crowd will be there. And it's after office hours. Kan? And the organizers also do a lot of organizing to get all this thing going.
I noticed in your book, you said that when Dr. Mahathir stepped down, announced his retirement in 2002 at the UMNO Assembly, he did not even tell you.
True.
Yeah. So my question is this: that when he decided to be active again last year, did he consult you?
No. He never consults me when he makes his decision.
Hey, thank you for staying with us, and this is the last part of our interview. After with Dr. Siti Hasmah, who has just told us about the difficult night ceramas and how late it has been, and how she's trying to convince all you cerama organizers there not to put Dr. Mahathir as the last person. So just a couple of last questions here, yeah. undeniably, Dr. M or Dr. Mahathir has been in the forefront of many of the developments in politics in the country. Some of them have involved the sitting prime ministers, Tunku in 69, Pak La in 2009 or 2010, and now Najib. Okay. Did you at any point in time say maybe it's time to take a rest? Say,
Yeah, when he retired, I thought he would be resting and I would have him back into the family as a husband, as a father of our children. But soon after that, he didn't retire actually. Yeah. On the other hand, it's good for a man who has been working very hard not to retire entirely. Otherwise, they will soon deteriorate and become useless and passed on. But not my husband. He was active, and especially when all these challenges come to him, he picked it up and started to become active again. So I cannot stop him because I guess it is in his blood to be active, especially in politics.
what do you say drives the two of you to, still do this at 90?
The drive is, we have only one objective, Chan. And then this is not only our objective, but also the true nation's objective. And that is to, selamatkan Malaysia, to rescue our beloved country from going downhill. We are facing a lot of problems, socio-economic problems and political problems. So we thought we have to start now and be aware and making other people to be aware also of what our situation is right now and to help our country to recover, get back to the time when the economy is good, there's political stability, and there's solid, united, multiracial country. That is what we are aiming for now.
I understand that actually your family was very close to even the late Tun Razak, because your brother studied with him in MCKK, your brother Azmi, I believe, and Aziz, sorry.
Yeah.
And you were also close to Tun Raiha and Tun Suhaila. So how hard has it been for you personally to see your husband, challenging Najib?
Yes, I feel very sad because I knew both families. Really, as you say, Razak was with Aziz, my brother in MCKK, and during the break from MCKK, he goes back to Pahang, to his home, and he always comes to our house, and that's how we personally knew him. And from then on, we know the sisters, and the brother-in-law Hamza, who was in Alostar with us for some time. And then where Raha is concerned, my late sister Saleha, I knew them from Dato' On's days, and there they got to know each other, and we knew Raha from her also. And only yesterday, I'm very, very happy to meet with Tun Raha, and we were friendly with each other. We hug each other, and we talk to each other, and there's nothing between us. And I told her that we have her in mind all the time. As for Tun Razak, he will be always, always, always in our mind. We are grateful to him for what he has done to our country. He has opened up the country for the rural people especially. And my husband is very grateful to him because he was the one who opened the channel for Mahathir to become a future Prime Minister. We are grateful to Tun Razak, and we loved him as a great statesman in Malaysia.
Final question. What would Dr. Hasmah be if she had not met Dr. Mahathir in Singapore?
I would not be here talking to you, Chan. I would have been just a doctor, probably not marrying another doctor. Good. And but all those people who wanted to marry me before I went to Singapore during the Japanese occupation, I knew, have all passed on. So I will be probably a single spinster doing my work with the people. I guess that's going to be my fate. But fortunately, God blessed me for giving me the chance to meet with Mahathir in Singapore, and I'm grateful for that because he taught me a lot of things in Singapore and also a lot of things when he took me back home as his wife in Kedah. I'm grateful to him. I'm grateful to the people in Kedah, and I'm also grateful to the late Agong, Tuanku Sultan Abdul Halim, because he was the one at that time ruling Kedah. So I don't think I'll be happy without him, and I can't imagine being with another person except with him. So that's it. That's my story.
Thank you, and that's a wrap for us. And thank you for staying with us and being patient with us.
Thank you. Thank you.
And until the next Facebook Live, sayonara from the Malaysian Insight. Thank you.
Ah.
Thank